What's up, guys? I'm back with another movie review. I don't have a disc to show you on this one. This movie's not available on DVD as of this review. It is called Cold Moon, and it's from Uncork'd Entertainment. This is a story about a guy who takes over his father's business when his father becomes sick. His dad's played by Christopher Lloyd. And he is, he's a real douchebag, this guy. He doesn't really care about anybody but himself. And as part of running his father's business, he takes control of the local bank. And in doing so, he sees an opportunity to foreclose on a really prime, valuable piece of land, which is owned by the Larkin family. Evelyn Larkin is like the grandmother of the family, and she is super pissed that he's trying to take the land. It creates a lot of tension between the two families. When Evelyn's granddaughter goes on a bicycle trip and never comes back, and then not too long after that, she's fished dead out of a river. She's convinced that this guy, Nathan Redfield, who's running the bank, is responsible for it. He, of course, swears that he isn't. He tries to divert police attention elsewhere. And he starts to have these, like, ghostly visions of this ghost girl tormenting him. At one point, the ghost appears on an invisible bicycle, and they play a game of chicken. Basically, the ghost is just tormenting him. As time passes, this becomes more and more frequent. More people die, more spirits rise, and it's just, what the hell is going to happen to this guy who's being tormented by these spirits? It's a decent movie. It's an indie horror movie, a low budget, but it's pretty good. It's not really scary. It's got some jump scares in it, but it does have good atmosphere and kind of good mood. It has a really weird, creepy vibe to it, which I liked. Josh Stewart is the lead in this. He's awful, like terrible. He has the worst accent, and you can't understand anything that he says. But that, to me, adds to the entertainment, because he's terrible, and you don't need to know what he says anyway, because he comes off as a great, like, completely unlikable douchebag in everything that he plays, and that's exactly what he needed to be in this movie. So even though I don't like him as an actor, it was a perfect fit for this role, because few people can be an unlikable douchebag as well as an unlikable douchebag like Josh Stewart. Anyway, the movie doesn't really have like a lot of like scary parts to it, but it does have a little bit of gore. It's a digital, unfortunately, but it does have some cool moments. It has a Beetlejuice inspired giant snake with the head of an old woman on it, and the Beetlejuice tie-in makes sense because the guy who wrote the novel the movie is based on is the same guy who wrote Beetlejuice. It does have some cool little weird moments to it. It's just a solid movie. It's nothing like spectacular, but it's very watchable. It goes by it's pretty brisk. It does have a little bit of slowness toward the start, but it definitely picks up toward the end. And this is not like one of those movies. Sometimes they try to sneak a drama with a little bit of horror in, and that's definitely not the case here. This is ghost shit happens all the time throughout this movie. Once it gets going. I don't have anything to talk about the transfer or the disc quality or whatnot, so I can't really talk about that. I would say if you're interested in indie horror, you like ghost stories, supernatural movies, this is one that's worth a look. Even though it's not, super memorable or super fantastic, it's just watchable. Like, if you're just looking for something to watch, Cold Moon would be pretty good. I was drawn to it because Tommy Wiseau was in it. Don't watch it if you're just wanting it for Tommy Wiseau. It ain't, unfortunately, his greatness is not given the proper merit here. That's my review of Cold Moon. I hope you like this video. If you do, make sure you check out my website, markfusion.com. I got hundreds and hundreds of reviews of other crazy movies on there, anime, games, TV shows. You can also follow me on Instagram, Twitter, and Twitch at markfusion. That's it, man. Cold Moon, Uncork'd. Tommy Wiseau, not given much screen time. See you later.